Across the African continent, courts are increasingly going beyond traditional interpretations of the law to safeguard fundamental human rights, a trend known as judicial activism. African judges are becoming more proactive in interpreting constitutions and international treaties to defend human rights, particularly those of women and girls. Legal practitioners across the continent say African courts are shaping justice and strengthening human rights enforcement. Victoria Tokolo sent in this report as presented from our studios. Let's take a look.
Judicial activism refers to the proactive role of courts in broadly interpreting the law to protect constitutional rights and advance justice. In many African countries where cultural norms have long restricted women's access to justice, the judiciary is now emerging as a strong defender of their rights. Across the region, judges rely on national constitutions, national mechanisms, and international treaties to challenge discriminatory practices and uphold equality. In Nigeria, judicial activism has helped dismantle deeply rooted cultural norms that deprive women of their rights. Some female African legal practitioners who spoke on the role of judicial activism in advancing women's rights shared insights on how the judiciary is pushing boundaries to ensure justice for women and girls.
And then when it comes to the Ghanaian courts, what they've done when it comes to property rights is that the court has established that any property that is acquired during the subsistence of a marriage is deemed as a joint property, unless you are able to prove that this is personal property acquired. So that's one, whether you are a woman or you are a man, if you can prove within a reasonable doubt that this property you acquired it on your own, and the court assesses it and believes that yes, indeed, this one is just for you, the court will give it to you. However, the law is that any property acquired within the subsistence of a marriage is deemed as joint property.
With the emergence of judicial authorities, judgment, we discovered that the women's rights has been recognized, especially in activism, whereby a lot of cultural practices that are contrary to the rights of humanity has been abolished. For instance, you find out that in some parts of Nigeria, women are not allowed to inherit land, to inherit property because they are men, they are women.
Who are being subjected to degrading situations or situations that are affecting their dignity based on some cultural practices or customs to approach the court. There is a remedy. Where there is a right, there is a remedy. By bringing these customs before the light of a judicial power, it can be ruled upon as to whether it is repugnant to to equality, to good conscience, and it can help protect their rights.
Judicial activism in Africa continues to demonstrate that courts can drive social transformation. To sustain these gains, experts are calling for stronger collaboration among the judiciary, government institutions, and law enforcement agencies to ensure the protection of women's rights becomes a reality across African societies.